This is RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Hey guys, so today I'm here to answer one simple question, and that is, did Samsung play it too safe with the Galaxy Note 8? Now, I myself am about to get the phone this weekend, so I'm gonna see, and if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe, and let me know in the comment section down below what videos you want to see on this phone. And that being said, did Samsung just play it too safe this year? A lot of people are calling the Note 8 the S8 Plus with an S Pen. And that is a fair criticism just because of the lack of features that I feel that Samsung brought this year in comparison to past years. Now, that being said, let's break it down. What did the Note 8 bring to the table? What is it missing? How is it going to compare to the new iPhone? And how does it compare to the existing S8 Plus? So first and foremost, what does it have? It has the dual cameras with a really cool blur live effect setup. I've already seen that in person. It really is a great looking feature. I'm really going to see how far I'm going to be able to get with it, so I'm very curious about that. You also have the S Pen features because yes, it does have an S Pen, and I for one miss the S Pen greatly. I love the S Pen, I missed it so much, so yes, I can't wait to have it again. That being said, what can you really do with it? You can do the same stuff before, screen right off memo, stuff like that. You have the new Bixby Vision, but I don't know how often I'll use Bixby Vision. How often do you translate things or need to translate something? So it's very curious to see how that will go. You also do have paired apps though. Paired apps is something that I used to do with a third-party app that now I cannot wait to have it built in, so hopefully it's a much smoother effect. So just basically tapping one button and it automatically launches two icons. I for one use navigation and maps all the time, navigation and YouTube all the time. So while I'm driving, I have a podcast playing in the background while my eyes are on the road, yes. And of course, live notes. So you have the live notes ability to be able to have this new feature, draw a note and send it to any friends or family. It doesn't matter what phone they have. Although that's a cool feature, I don't know how much that'll really catch on. It's another like gimmicky style feature. It's the gimmicky one of the phone. And I don't know if a lot of people will use it, like the stickers with the S8, more people I felt use that one. Or is it gonna be another scrolling with your eyes like the S5 had? So that's the question. What is it missing? It is missing actually a lot. There was no improvement to something like video quality, where I wish they would have had something. Oh yes, the OIS comes in the second camera, but you know, I would have liked something like, you know, maybe HDR recording 1080p 60 FPS or in 4K. Something along that line would have been a much better and welcomed feature. Something along the lines of better audio recording. Obviously, this based on that, we're also missing better sound quality. Come on, Samsung, you own Harman, you bought them. Put some good speakers on your phone. God, that's the one thing that all Samsung users ask for. We just want good speakers. You haven't given it to us. That's all we want. Front camera improvement. I really wish we would have a little bit better quality in the front camera, either upgrade the megapixel. It's still the widest aperture, so you get the best low light out of any smartphone. I don't care what phone you have, it's going to be the best low light because of that wider aperture. But I would have liked to see something different. Again, maybe 2K with optical stabilization recording, something better for that, or maybe even 1080 with 60 FPS recording on the front camera, something along those lines to make it really innovative. Screen quality, this was a big one, rumored that we were getting a 4K display. It would come natively out of the box 1080p, but you could up it to 4K to really give a great VR experience, but we didn't get that. And battery, we didn't get any improvement on the battery from the S8 Plus, which we're going to get to later, but we actually got a downgrade in battery. So let's talk about now how it's going to compare to the next iPhone. So the next iPhone, first and foremost, is going to have an OLED display from Samsung. It's going to have wireless charging. It's going to have a glass backing. It's going to be waterproof. These features have always been Samsung phones. Now the iPhone is getting it too. So the iPhone is matching Samsung. So what is Samsung doing to really up its ante? What is it really doing to stand out more? Now the iPhone won't be the biggest display. It's going to be at 5.8-inch display. So this is 6.3, so definitely a better, bigger display at least. And the iPhone is going to lose some of that display as well, because we've heard it's going to be about a 5.3 to 5.2 active zone, whereas the rest is just going to be like the bottom will just be regulated to the home button and certain features on it. So in terms of actual screen real estate that you can use, that's going to be a difference as well. Overall, with this, I think Samsung is really getting to the point where they need to have something more, something like security. Like Apple is going to have their new Face Unlock feature. They're losing their Touch ID, but you're going to have this new Face Unlock feature. It's supposed to be really quick. Even at an angle against your table, it'll be able to unlock. Maybe we could have seen something in Samsung to improve the iris scanning ability to do that, because Apple's is going to use iris scanning and face detection blended to be able to always unlock it quickly. Now, is it going to be as safe? We don't know, but that's the real question. And again, something innovative like that, something new, and that's the real thing we're missing with the Note. There's nothing really like a wow feature, like, oh my god, no other phone has this and I really want it. The dual camera feature is a software feature for the most part, so you can copy that. Apple can release an update on a later iOS update to match that, or so can any other Android manufacturer. So although that's a cool thing now, it's a software feature. It's something that someone else can take. And with Apple changing so much dramatically, Samsung needed to bring it more this year than play it safe. Now, how do I know they're playing it safe? Well, let's compare it to the S8 Plus, because that's a real big difference. So first and foremost, I'm going to go on a little tangent about the battery. So let's take a look. This is the battery difference coming from Samsung on their phones. So if you compare them side by side, roughly you can see that the S8 Plus is a 1 to 2 hours better battery life than the Note 8 according to them. Now we'll have to take it through paces, see how it does screen on time. We'll check all that out definitely after a day's use at full brightness. Yes, we don't do the 50% brightness, 80% brightness here. We actually do the full 100% brightness to really see how it tests out. So make sure you look forward to those videos. That being said, that's the real big thing, is that with this, you're having a lower battery. Now you're gonna say, well, Ricky, you know, we've seen this before. The Note 7 didn't have as big a battery life as the S7 Edge. Let's break that down. Okay, first of all, Note 8 compared to S8 Plus, it's a 2000 milliamp difference in terms of the battery. Note 7 compared to S7 Edge, it had a 100,000 milliamp difference. But here's the thing, the Note 7 actually had an optimized software for Android 6.0. See, the S7 Edge did get Android 6.0, but it got a crappy version of it. It was updated. The phone was not made for Android 6.0. It's one of the reasons why I tell you guys you do not want the latest version of Android ever on your phone as an update, because usually it sucks. It's not made for that hardware. So that being said, that is why the battery life was typically the same, if not better, on the Note 7. Even though it had a smaller battery, it was because of the fact, and yes, I know I'm talking about the battery of the Note 7 being better, but the Note 7 had such a great optimization with the whole Grace UI that Samsung put on it, that yes, it was better than it. With the Note 5 and S6 Edge Plus, they were the same battery at 3000 milliamp. However, the S6 Edge Plus was $100 more at the time when it first came out, and guess what? The sales didn't do so good. The Edge Plus didn't have great sales because everyone was like, well, I'm paying $100 less and I can get the Note, which has a pen, and the Edge Plus doesn't. So the Edge Plus didn't do well for Samsung, which is why Samsung dropped that line and then just made it one big phone, one smaller phone, instead of what they had that year, which was an Edge, then an Edge Plus, and it was a mess. So now they've seemed to find their footing, one smaller size phone, one bigger size phone, and a Note. So 3 phones total. That being said, again, you have seen what happens when you don't offer more. And that's the whole point of this, that really you're asking me to pay $130 more for a Note that has a smaller battery. We're willing to pay more. We are always willing to pay more. But when you actually don't give us a reason to, that's the harder part. I'm paying $130 more, and my battery life from my S8 Plus that I'm trading in for my Note 8 is going to be less. So that's a real big difference in my opinion, that it has a hassle of, man, I just wish I would have had at least the same battery. I didn't need a bigger battery. Now, DJ Co has come out and said, oh yes, well, we needed to do it, and because we didn't see it as an issue, because with the new 10 nanometer processor, it saves 30% battery life compared to last year's phones. You realize that same processor is on your SA Plus, so again, we go back to the same thing. I mean, I can't believe he said that. Like, are you serious? Like, do you think we cannot look at this stuff and see it for exactly how it is? That it is a smaller battery, no matter what. You played it safe because you were afraid to make a bigger battery. Now, here's the thing. All you had to do is make the phone thicker. But no, you wanted to make a thinner phone yet again, which we don't really care about. Consumers do not care about thinner phones. We've been saying this for over a year now. We do not prefer thinner phones, we prefer bigger batteries. And it's something that I wish we would have in these series, besides the active series, or the as a flagship, not as an A series. But you really haven't had a 4,000 milliamp battery or something along those lines, which we should have in this day and age. We should be able to get a long battery life. They didn't mention the battery life at the show at all. They didn't even try to defend it that, oh, it's going to be a better battery life. They literally tried to brush that aside. And we're not talking about battery, because we already know the SA Plus is better battery life. And that's the thing. The Note 8 is your flagship, so treat it like your flagship. It should be the best of the best. It should have everything. And quite frankly, Samsung did play it too safe for a year when the iPhone is going to have a major presence. And you know, it's their 10th anniversary, they're going to go really big. Yes, they're going to be overpriced at $1,069 for their starter phone, which is $100 more than your Note. But they have the loyal base that, yes, will buy it. And as well as Samsung does. Look, the Note 8, all this complaining I've been doing, I already pre-ordered mine. I pre-ordered my Note 8 day one, and I'm trading in my S8 Plus. But you cannot rely on your loyalty base only if you intend to grow your brand. If you intend to grow the Note 8 brand to be the best of the best of the Note tradition, then give it the best of the best. That's all we're asking for, Samsung. I feel that Samsung did play it too safe. I'm curious to hear what you guys think in the comment section down below, so let me know. Alright guys, thank you as always for watching. This has been RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Thank you for watching our video. If you liked it, why don't you go ahead and subscribe up there. Make sure you follow us on social media right here. And of course, check out our latest video up there. And right down here, you're going to find the perfect video for you. Or at least that's what YouTube tells me. Thanks again.